This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning and welcome to the public meeting webinar with the presentation topic, Stormwater, a resource that connects us. My name is Maylin Wilbert and I am the Stormwater Department Manager for the City of Memphis Division of Public Works. During the first segment of this webinar, I'm going to be talking to you all about the Stormwater Department and why we exist. And my teammate, Ms. Yvette Sony Holmes, will be presenting during the second segment, and she'll be talking about and highlighting the importance of stormwater runoff quality, and she'll also be providing you all some information about our public education information that we can provide to you all. Before we get started, we ask that you please mute your computer, your tablet, or your phone during the presentation to prevent any background noises from coming through. We also ask that you please turn off your video if your videos are on to prevent any distractions. Also, if you have any questions during the webinar, please use the chat feature on this platform to submit them to me, and we will answer those questions at the end of the presentation during the Q&A session. Any questions we don't get to today, or if you are having any technical issues, or perhaps you have additional questions that you may think of later, you can submit those questions to us via email. Our email address is stormwater@memphistn.gov, or you can just give us a call at 901-636-4349. Last but not least, after the presentation this morning, we will be posting 2 different surveys through SurveyMonkey on our website. The first survey is a quiz to test your knowledge base on the topics discussed today, and it also provides you all the opportunity to provide us feedback on this webinar and any suggestions for future webinars. The second survey is geared more for the teachers that are on this call to provide us feedback and suggestions on how we can further assist you and also improve our stormwater program. These surveys are not required. However, we do encourage participation. You don't have to take both surveys. However, as a way to thank you for participating in the survey, we will be giving away prizes to those that submit them. The first 10 participants that do submit these surveys will receive an additional 20-ounce stainless steel insulated tumbler. The deadline to submit the survey is December 11th by 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I'll show you all a sneak peek of the prizes at the end of this presentation, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, please answer the poll question through your chat feature this morning. Who is in our audience today? I'll give everyone a moment to respond to this question. Okay, I think I've received info. Okay, it's still coming in through. Wow, we've got a bit of participation this morning. This is exciting. All right, so it looks like we have a very diverse group this morning, all A, B, C, D, and E. This is awesome. This is the type of participation we want to have because the topic that we are going to be covering today affects all of us.
You guys want to talk through this stuff? Do you want to split this stuff up and answer them on?
Excuse me, someone's not on mute. If you could please mute your phone or computer, please. Thank you. All right, with any successful organization, there is a mission. The city's mission is improving the quality of life for Memphians every day. For the Stormwater Department, that means minimizing and preventing pollutants in stormwater runoff that enters our stormwater drainage system, which in turn improves the water quality of our surrounding lakes, rivers, and streams. We want to have a cleaner, greener city with awareness that every citizen can have a positive impact on the water quality that flows down our streets, enters the Memphis stormwater drainage system, and ultimately discharges to the Mississippi River down to the Gulf of Mexico. So today's objective is to learn to be aware of and recognize the conditions that could result in pollution entering the Memphis stormwater drainage system. So as we go through these slides, especially when Ms. Holmes talks about the common types of pollution that we encounter, ask yourself this question: what can I do to prevent pollution? Because if we change the way we think in terms of stormwater pollution prevention or stormwater runoff quality, we can change our behavior. And changing our behavior is really crucial in helping to protect our waterways. So to accomplish our mission and objectives, the Stormwater Department team was formed. As I mentioned earlier, I'm the Stormwater Department manager. Heather Holtz is our Environmental Technical Manager. Shirley Palmer is our Support Service Analyst. And then we have the Environmental Project Coordinators, and these include Chan Higginbottom, Jack Nix, Jennifer Kisner-Johnson, Joshua Hatchett, Pam Riddick-Carroll, Stephanie Hardy, and Yvette Holmes, and they are all crucial in the implementation of the various programs of the Stormwater Department. So the City of Memphis Stormwater Department was created in 1996, about 24 years ago, to impose controls in reducing pollutant discharges into the stormwater drainage system to the maximum extent practicable. We are a federally mandated program through the Clean Water Act, which is administered by the Environmental Protection Agency. The Clean Water Act establishes the basic structure for regulating discharge of pollutants into waters of the U.S. and regulating water quality standards for surface water. The Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, in accordance with EPA rules, issued the City of Memphis a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, or NPDES permit, which basically requires the city to develop and implement a stormwater management plan to control the quality of stormwater runoff discharge to the stormwater drainage system within our jurisdictional area. So our NPDES permit has 6 minimum control measures that we have to meet. The first one includes the public education outreach requirement. This is where we inform the public on ways to reduce and prevent stormwater pollution. We do this via brochures, promotional item giveaways, advertisements, press releases, our stormwater website, and also through our educational programs, in which Ms. Holmes is going to talk about here later. We have the public participation and involvement element. This is where we involve the public on the development and implementation of stormwater pollution prevention. We typically hold public meetings by partnering with other events, but as you all know, due to COVID-19 social distancing protocols, we are going to be doing live webinars at this time like we're doing right now. Next, we have the illicit discharge detection and elimination requirement, or what we call the IDDE. This is where we identify and eliminate illicit discharges to our stormwater drainage systems. Examples of this will also be discussed by Ms. Holmes in her segment. So the next requirement that we have is a construction site runoff control. This is where we review erosion control plans to ensure that the plans submitted to us are accurate and have adequate erosion prevention sediment control measures. And we also conduct inspections of active construction sites in Memphis to ensure that the site operators are implementing appropriate measures to prevent muddy water from leaving their site and entering our stormwater drainage system. because as you all know, sediment is a problem entering our stormwater drainage system. Next, we have the post-construction runoff control requirement. This is where we review post-construction plans to ensure that the plans submitted to us are accurate. And we also conduct inspections of retention and detention basins to ensure that these structural control measures are being maintained and functioning properly. And then last but not least, we have the good housekeeping requirement. This is basically where we conduct inspections of our own municipal facilities to ensure that best management practices are implemented to minimize and prevent stormwater pollution. We also develop and maintain their stormwater pollution prevention plans and conduct training on stormwater pollution prevention. Other requirements that we also have is issuing enforcement as necessary. For example, the Stormwater Department may issue civil penalties for violations of city ordinances, ranging from $50 up to $5,000 per day for the violation. This is a fun fact about Memphis that I wanted to share with you all today. It's on the Gayoso Bayou. So Gayoso Bayou was once this wide swamp and natural waterway on the eastern side of what's now downtown Memphis. Back in the 1870s, Memphis was plagued with very unhealthy conditions, due largely because of its geographical setting. The bayou provided drainage for the city, but posed a serious health hazard. The Mississippi River would frequently back up into the bayou and overflow its banks, with the water deposited slime and filth on the low-lying areas when the water levels receded. Well, during dry periods, the bayou became a series of foul, stagnant pools. And to add to the problem, because of the humid climate and lack of sewers and poor waste disposal, the city streets and alleys and gutters were all filled with garbage and refuse. And so these conditions produced periodic outbreaks of yellow fever and waterborne diseases. By 1878, there was a yellow fever epidemic that killed nearly 5,000 people out of the 40,000 residents that lived in Memphis at that time. So fast forward, the city recognized the need to get their sanitary sewage away from their water sources. Back then, it was primarily small private wells, and also to clean up Gayoso Bayou. By the 1880s, the separate sanitary sewer system was created and implemented. In fact, Memphis, Tennessee is actually considered to be the first community in the United States to have a separate sanitary sewer system and is referred to as the Memphis model. So the Gayoso Bayou is our history. As the city expanded east, engineers channeled and covered the bayou, working around what's already there. The bayou is about 4 miles long, and it's very critical to the drainage of our city. It drains the eastern half part of downtown and western half of the Memphis center. So developed after the yellow fever epidemic, Memphis has a separate sewer system. We have the sanitary sewer system, and then we have the storm sewer system. You may have heard it called our MS4, or Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. So the diagram on the left-hand side of this photo is an example of the sanitary sewer system. This is a system of underground pipes that carries sewage and wastewater from bathrooms, sinks, kitchens, and other plumbing components to a wastewater treatment plant where it's filtered, it's treated, and then it's discharged ultimately to the Mississippi River. So the diagram on the right-hand side of the photo is an example of the storm sewer system. This is a system designed to carry stormwater. And when I say stormwater, it's basically rainwater to the nearest lake, river, or stream, and eventually to the ocean, and it's untreated. That's why it's incredibly important that we all do our part to prevent pollution from entering our stormwater drainage systems, because what we do on land affects the water quality of our surrounding lakes, rivers, and streams. So stormwater runoff comes into contact with pollutants that it encounters along the way, and this can affect the biological, chemical, and physical health of the receiving stream. So examples of pollutants include cigarette butts, trash, litter, yard debris, or chemicals being dumped into the ground. And that's just to name a few. So just remember, only rain down the storm drain, because fish and aquatic life rely on water quality to thrive and sustain healthy populations. Pollutants can harm fish and aquatic life, and it can also make our waterways unsuitable for fish consumption and recreation. All right, so these are more examples of stormwater drainage systems. So just for clarification, stormwater drainage systems are storm drains, they're gutters, drainage ditches, open channels, and culverts that I'm sure a lot of you have seen throughout the city that basically convey stormwater or rainwater into the nearest lake, river, or stream, and eventually to the ocean untreated. All right, so it brings me back to this slide. As I mentioned earlier, our mission is to protect, to maintain, and enhance the environment of the city of Memphis and the health, safety, and general welfare of its citizens by controlling the discharge of pollutants to the city's MS4. Our mission is also to maintain and improve the quality of the receiving waters, which the surface water flows, like our nearby rivers, our lakes, our streams, ponds, wetlands, groundwater of the city of Memphis. Public education and outreach and public participation and involvement are requirements of the city's NPDES permit, and the city feels that the more we educate our citizens, we have a better chance in accomplishing our mission. So the city provides education to citizens of all ages on environmental issues related to stormwater pollution and how it impacts the environment. So with that said, I am going to hand over the mic now to Ms. Holmes, and she will talk to you all about this information. Ms. Holmes?
Thanks, Maylin. As mentioned, public education and outreach are required by our permit with the state. And as an innate zoologist and educator, I fully believe that the more we educate our citizens, the young and the not as young, the better we can all help to reach our mission goal. The Stormwater Department has participated in many public events and campaigns throughout the years, such as festivals, community meetings, cleanups, and Adopt a Storm Drain, to name a few. And we hope to continue to do so in the future. But today we want to focus on our education programs for elementary through high school students. First of all, we offer stormwater awareness lessons that coincide with the Tennessee Curriculum Standards or Next Generation Science Standards, and we are eager to work with other educators to do so. Pre-COVID-19 included classroom visits with storytelling time, games, or multiple hands-on experiences like water testing, watershed models, etc., or participating in field trips on school campus or abroad. But present and post-COVID may be a mixture of PowerPoints, video conferencing, virtual field trips, or other distance learning methods, and perhaps more classroom competitions. I'm looking forward to more outdoor classroom visitations, because the best way to learn about your environment is to be in it, because outdoor classroom settings offer multiple benefits academically, emotionally, socially, and physically. And due to the current health climate, it may be more advantageous. And because I like to have fun while I'm teaching. I'm not a big fan of the back to normal phrase. I'm pushing for a new progression phrase. So bring on the inside, outside, and virtual learning. We are all excited to work with teachers in enriching their curriculum this year and in years to come. With all age groups, I start with the basic concepts to ensure we all begin with the same foundation upon which to build knowledge, understanding, and respect for our planet. So, why is stormwater education important? Let's talk about water availability. We think of our planet as the big blue planet, but this slide is a representation of how much water we actually have. This global illustration shows blue spheres or bubbles that show relative amounts of Earth's water in comparison to the size of the Earth. The largest bubble represents all of the water on, in, and above Earth. The smaller bubble represents Earth's liquid fresh water, and the teeny tiny bubble just above Florida represents the 1% of Earth's fresh water found in all of our lakes and rivers on the planet. Most of the water people and life on Earth need every day comes from these surface water sources. 30% of that Earth's fresh water is located underground, and much of that is too deep and not available to humans. So where does our water come from? Let's talk about the water cycle. There's a lot going on in a water cycle, but the basic processes are evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Water cycles happen in natural and urban areas. In both types, there is evaporation, condensation, and precipitation, but surface runoff and infiltration aspects also need consideration. The Stormwater Department is a stormwater pollution regulatory entity and is concerned with the pollution of infiltration and stormwater runoff in the water cycle. In a natural water cycle, shown on the left, precipitation creates surface runoff where water runs across the land and vegetation, which slows the flow of surface runoff. Low flow allows water to infiltrate into the permeable ground, and the earth cleans possible pollutants from the water before returning the runoff to nearby rivers, lakes, oceans, or any other water bodies. In an urban water cycle, shown on the right, precipitation creates surface runoff where water runs across the hard, impermeable surfaces like streets, parking lots, houses, schools, etc., where the water cannot infiltrate into the ground. Surface runoff is higher or faster, there is less infiltration, if any, and pollutants are not cleaned by the earth, but carried directly to nearby rivers or other water bodies. Water cycles happen on a watershed. A watershed is basically an area of land where stormwater falls and runs off or sheds to receiving rivers or other water bodies. There you go. Memphis is part of the Mississippi River watershed, with the river itself shown in the dark blue line. It is the largest watershed in the United States, and it drains 31 states and 2 Canadian provinces. We all live on a watershed, and we all have an effect on its water quality. So where does your storm water shed? The map on the top left corner of the slide shows Memphis's 3 watersheds, which are named after the river to which they drain. The Loosahatchee watershed at the top of the map drains to the Loosahatchee River, which joins the Mississippi River in Fraser. The Wolf watershed in the middle of the map drains to the Wolf River and joins the Mississippi River in downtown. And the Nankana watershed at the bottom of the map drains to Nankana Creek, which is basically a river, and enters McKellar Lake, which joins the Mississippi River in the southern portion of the map. In the top right corner, you see the location of Memphis in relation to other cities south of us along the Mississippi River and how it drains to the Gulf of Mexico. In the bottom left corner is a satellite photo of pollution from the Mississippi River into the Gulf. And in the bottom right corner, you see a definite contrast in the polluted water and the rest of the Gulf and the Atlantic Ocean. Many cities north and south of Memphis rely on the Mississippi River as their main water source for drinking and other water-related services. But Memphis is very fortunate to receive our drinking water from our share of the 30% underground fresh water on the planet. We use water from the Memphis Sands Aquifer. On the right side of the slide, you see a stream and a recharge area. A recharge area is an area where stormwater infiltrates into the ground and into an aquifer. This is another area where the Stormwater Department is concerned about possible polluted stormwater runoff infiltrating into the ground and possibly our aquifer. On the left side of the slide, you see a pump similar to how MLG&W retrieves our drinking water from the aquifer. Water from our aquifer has been cleaned by the earth over thousands of years and is some of the best water in the country. It is even bottled and sent to other states. The young lady on the right attended our Green Camp summer program and switched to tap water from bottled water once she became aware. She actually said the camp was life-changing because even though she learned these subjects in school, the camp made them relevant. So again, why are we concerned about stormwater quality? The city of Memphis does not treat stormwater runoff prior to discharge into the Mississippi River or local rivers or infiltration to our aquifer. So therefore, it can pick up a lot of pollutants along the way. So runoff picks up pollutants like fertilizers, pesticides, motor oil, pet waste, leaves, and detergents. So we need all citizens to be aware of and reduce sources of commonly seen stormwater pollution in Memphis. There are two types of stormwater pollution, which we refer to as illicit discharges or IDs. They are point source pollution, where the origin of the pollution is known, historically from industries like factories, businesses, or presently from construction sites and some citizens. The other type of stormwater pollution is non-point source pollution, where the origin of the pollution cannot be definitively determined. It may often be grass clippings or leaves that have been blown into the street or into storm drains directly, or illegal dumping or littering, and cigarette butts are a major pollutant problem. Same goes for pet waste. Citizens are required to clean up after their pets. According to Ordinance 4538, Section 3320719 states that it is unlawful for any person to dispose domestic animal waste into the stormwater drainage system. So this means that you have to clean up after your pets. Don't forget, Memphis also has a leash law and a large stray pet problem. So if your pet is running free or unsupervised in the neighborhood, it may be contributing to a stormwater pollution problem. We want citizens to not only be aware of and eliminate these common pollution violations, but to also report them to our office if they are seen. What we do on land affects the water quality and habitat of our creeks, lakes, rivers, and oceans. So as you can see in these pictures, there are excess nutrients and chemicals. There's excess trash. There's plastic in water bodies and oceans, littering in ditches or streams, and dumping in storm drains. Remember, only rain down the storm drain. Some of the after effects of our actions are in the top left corner. Improper disposal of trash, plastics, and chemicals have led to unsafe consumption of fish from our own rivers, shown in the slide on the top right. Improper erosion prevention and sediment or dirt runoff control methods on a construction site leads to unhealthy water bodies and environments for animals and humans, shown in the middle. And nutrients from decaying of excess yard waste or discarded chemicals can lead to algae blooms and fish kills in a water body, shown in the bottom two slides. Now, we can also have a positive effect by recycling, using rain barrels, installing rain gardens, mimicking the earth by using green infrastructure or low impact development methods, preserving our natural pollutant cleaners such as wetlands, or using appropriately prescribed erosion control methods on construction sites. Now that's a cleaner, greener city that we would love to see. We are often taught to reduce, reuse, and recycle, but I encourage students to reduce, recycle, and reduce. As an earth enthusiast, I want students to see how awesome our planet is, whether it be life in an acid desert, Superman's vacation home, plants that look like monkeys and monkeys with cool hairdos, truly funky chickens. The geysers in the upper right corner speak for themselves. Earth has snakes that fly, clear frogs, walking leaves, real Dr. Seuss caves, and turtles that rock. I want students to appreciate the planet's diversity and respect Earth's gifts. Earth fuels our imaginations and inspires solutions to most of our problems. I want students to rethink about how the planet works and how we can all work with the planet, not against it. Stormwater awareness can be made relevant in many, if not all, class subjects: language arts, math, lifetime wellness, fine arts and engineering courses, to name a few. it can equally be relevant in social studies discussions or debates on water resource management, water rights, and methods of sustainability. It's not just about science. Everything is connected. We are all connected by water. So in addition to the various education opportunities the Stormwater Department has to offer, we have 3 levels of student engagement for elementary, junior, and high school grades. Little Pollution Preventers is a program for students from pre-K to 5th grade. We introduce them to the concept of storm drains, litter pollution, and the effects on animals in our environment. We have an art contest where students design a downstream friend of Gurgle, the storm drain, and show how pollution affects his friends. Students not only explore their creativity while learning about stormwater pollution and its effects, they also teach others to prevent stormwater pollution by adopting a storm drain to keep clean. So why should you enter the Little Pollution Preventer art contest? Well, all participants receive some form of reward and there are runner-up prizes, etc. But the winner is awarded a trophy, their animal in a comic strip placed in Jabber Blabber and La Prensa Latina publications, their artwork, their name, and school name on a billboard within the city for all to see, and they will star in a public service commercial on TV and on our website. Now, Junior Water Warriors is a program for middle school age students. It is a project-based, hands-on program. The project is based on an investigation at your school or a real-world problem. Students can explore their watershed, do a community service project through a schoolyard cleanup, or in conjunction with another community group or field trip. Storm drain marking, water testing, or creating a watershed model presentation. The Stormwater Department is also excited about our new venture in collaborating with the Sea Perch RoboNation program and Shelby County School students. Sea Perch is an innovative underwater robotics program that teaches basic science concepts. There are challenges and competitions where students can apply technology to real-world solutions. We want to challenge kids to think, design, discuss, cooperate, and celebrate their accomplishments and ideas. To see that they are really lifelong learners, that they learn something every day in different forms, to make education more relevant. Why not watch some Discovery Channel or the innovation program on the weekends, on weekend mornings, to encourage them to learn even when they're not in school. Nature Knows Best, DIY Sci, and Earth 2050 are a few of my personal favorites. Maybe students can earn extra credit for a report on what they learned or initiating a discussion about it in class. Today's students will not only aspire to work in tomorrow's green jobs, they will be the creators of them. We want to inspire them to start on them now, and we think Sea Perch is a great start. Now, that brings me to Green Camp. Green Camp is a summer program for high school age students. Green Camp is a free summer program where students are invited to participate in hands-on learning in relation to stormwater awareness and other environmental issues, stormwater pollution prevention, engineering, chemistry, urban development, and sustainability. Keep in mind that I would love to still teach your students throughout the school year as a precursor to Green Camp. That could free up more time for reflection, discussion, and games during camp while encouraging and modeling responsible consumer choices, problem solving, public speaking, advocacy, creativity, and most importantly, having fun while doing so. During Green Camp, students embark on a one-week scientific study comparing the effects on stormwater quality within a rural and urban watershed. We visit many locations within and outside of the city to investigate parameters of water quality in streams, rivers, and wetlands. We perform chemical and biological testing and learn a little history about our city. We provide all the materials needed, t-shirts, backpacks, transportation, and lunch. Students participate in a community service cleanup, earn a certificate, and 35 community service hours. Students are encouraged to write a scientific paper, which, if it qualifies, will be published on the Stormwater website or they can create a trifold or a watershed model presentation. However, this year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Green Camp was offered virtually for the first time. Students followed me, my Green Camper son, and Stormwater co-worker, Ms. Wilbert, while wearing masks, participating in social distancing and other CDC guidelines. Students followed along via Microsoft Teams video conferencing on virtual live tours to many of the same destinations as pre-COVID camps, plus a few new locations. In addition to their usual items, minus the lunch and transportation, students were supplied with materials for various activities which they performed live and on their own. Students received water testing kits, art supplies, and assessed river health by a macroinvertebrate study activity. Green Campers created a paper, a trifold relating to topics covered during Green Camp, as well as 3 watershed models explaining the effects of stormwater pollution and sustainable stormwater management. The Stormwater Department is looking forward to offering Green Camp again next summer, as well as other educational programs this year. And to be clear, we want non-science oriented students as well as science students. Instinctively, we are all scientists from birth. Science is curiosity. Science is making observations and trying to make sense of them. And no matter a student's career choice, they need to know how the planet works to understand their place in it and their effects on it, so they can make good, constructive, fair, sustainable decisions for themselves, society, and the planet. So for more information about the Stormwater Department's public education and outreach programs, you can reach me at the phone number or email contact below. Now I will turn it back over to Mrs. Wilbur.
Thank you, Ms. Holmes. All right, so at this time, let me change this. We will be answering questions. As a reminder, please keep your devices on mute and submit your questions to me through the chat feature. I noticed a lot of them was starting to roll in. If there are any questions we don't get to today, or if you are having any technical issues, or perhaps you have additional questions that you may think of later after this webinar is over, you can submit your questions to us via email. Again, our email address is stormwater@memphistn.gov, or you can give us a call at 901-636-4349. Right, so just give me a moment to pull up some of these questions. Okay, so the first question I have is, my students are studying the water cycle and the availability of water resources globally. Could someone from your department speak to my students virtually about this subject? Ms. Holmes?
We sure could. We'd love to talk to your students. We can do so virtually, preferably. And this, yeah, however you guys would like to do that, but we can do it virtually. I can speak to your students about stormwater issues here and abroad. And the availability, I can do different demonstrations, and we can have discussions or possibly play games. So just reach out to me and we can figure out how to make that happen.
Ms. Holmes, can you also mention about the videos that we're kind of putting together as well?
Yes, ma'am. We are going to have 3 videos on our website coming up soon. I think we're doing junior high first, but there will be 3 educational videos, one geared specifically for elementary, one specifically geared for junior high, and one specifically geared for high school. So those will be on the website, and you guys will be more than welcome to view those. And then if you want more information or more participation from us, then feel free to reach out to us.
Thank you. Okay, another question comes to us. This person asks, how can I get my students involved in the art contest?
The Little Pollution Preventers Art Contest will be posted on our website, memphisstormwater.com. However, there is, if you go on there and look under the Gurgle or Kids Activities, we're actually accepting entries now, and we can put those on our kids gallery. So if you want to go ahead and get started and have your kids learn about stormwater pollution, you can reach out to me, and again, I can talk to them virtually and do a demonstration to help them understand what they're drawing for. But you can look on the website and get more information on that, and then again, reach out to me.
Great. All right. I think I've got a few more. Hang on just a second. All right. This one is one of the questions, I think you talked about it. This one asks, how many community service hours did you say Green Camp students get for participation?
They get 35 community service hours. However, if we do things in your classroom, if we do community cleanups or things like that, or other service, community service projects, they could possibly earn some during the school year and not have to wait until the summer.
And I think we have second. Looks like some of these questions have been answered, and we have one more here, new one. It says, I've witnessed my neighbor on several occasions blowing leaves into the street and into a storm drain. If I report this, can I remain anonymous? The answer to that question is yes, you can remain anonymous. We ask that you just provide us the address where this violation is occurring, and we will further investigate. Providing your contact information is not a requirement. However, if you want to receive a follow-up regarding your complaint, you'll need to call us back for that, and we'll be able to provide you that information. Let me see.
Maylin, can I add something to that?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
If anyone is hesitant about doing so, I know students usually have hesitancy in that, but it's not a matter of getting anyone in trouble. We just need to know so that we can further educate them. We can come out and do an investigation or inspection, but we usually end up sending them some kind of literature so that they are educated and know not to do it again. So it's just another way of kind of helping out the planet.
Thanks, Ms. Holmes. All right, so I don't see any more new ones. The rest of these are kind of similar and they've been addressed. And again, if I've missed one, please follow up and email us at stormwater@memphistn.gov or give us a call at 901-636-4349. As a reminder, again, please visit our website at memphiссtormwater.com and complete our survey. Again, the survey is not required. However, we do encourage participation. When you get to our website, go to the top of the page and you'll see a banner that says, "Did you watch our webinar? Take our survey." All you'll need to do is click the banner and it'll take you directly to the survey. So please remember the survey ends December 11th by 3 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Again, as a thank you for taking our survey, you will receive a prize for submitting it. Some of the prizes included will be a reusable tote bag, a stainless steel straw, an umbrella, and a lot more amazing items that we hope you all will enjoy. Just remember, however, for the first 10 people that submit their survey, they will receive an additional 20-ounce stainless steel insulated tumbler. So this is just a sneak peek of some of the awesome prizes we're giving away. The rest will be a surprise. I'm sure you all will like it. But before we end our webinar today, I'd like to leave you all with a maxim. Be a solution to water pollution. Collectively and individually, we have a great responsibility to help keep our waterways clean. If we all do just a little, together we can give a lot. Thank you all again for participating in this webinar. It was a great turnout, and be safe, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.